And we're back. This is The Guys Next Door. I'm Ron Arenas with my co-host, Pastor John McClain, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long.
All summer long. And keeping you warm all winter long as well, even though we don't have to worry about that now. You're just worried about being cool at this moment.
The 3 days of winter.
Yeah. And thankfully, usually on Wednesdays, I get to hang out with the coolest guy in Tucson all day long. So, yeah, good seeing you.
Who are you hanging
again.
out with on Wednesdays?
My buddy Martin.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Well, on this episode, we have a great lineup for you guys. And our first guest is Frank Ruiz from Tucson Tamale. Frank, you there?
I am. How are you guys doing?
All right. Good. So Frank couldn't make it live to the studio with us. He had some duties there at Tucson Tamale. He had to take care of some things.
Yeah. The businessman.
Yeah.
I guess you got to handle business. Yeah. And it's funny that you say that he works at Tucson Tamale. This is Frank, my golf buddy. I don't know what I didn't realize he worked at Tucson Tamale as well. Why didn't you tell me, Frank?
I know. I'm trying to become a golf pro, and I need to fund my golf addiction with working at Tucson Tamale.
Yeah, that's how that works. Okay. So Tucson Tamale has been a go-to destination for many years. What's new there? What's new on the menu at Tucson Tamale?
Well, we're just doing the same old stuff, and right now we're doing a special elote as a side, a homemade street corn.
Okay.
Fresh corn that we're doing with one of our sides, and we got a special sale coming up at the end of the month. Buy 3 get 3 free. So buy a half dozen, get a half dozen free.
Oh, that's nice.
So
good.
So for the layman like myself, who doesn't know what elote is, kind of like break it down for me a little bit, because I think that's a big problem my wife constantly complains about is like I have like a little baby tongue. I don't want to try new things. But you've really broken me out of my shell, especially with that your wall of heat that you have out there. I was even trying some things with it. But tell us about the elote and kind of paint a picture for us with that.
Well, our elote is we get fresh corn. We grill it on our grill. We make a special cream sauce. We call it elote cream that we put on there.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with cotija cheese, cilantro, lime, and some tahini. And if you want to go with some, Cheetos, spicy Cheetos, you can do that as well.
The Flaming Hot Cheetos. Yeah.
Flaming Hot Cheetos, yeah.
So is this served cold or hot?
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's one of our sides. You can either get it as a side or a whole elote if you want to order that.
Very nice. And what else is on your menu besides tamales?
Burritos, buddy. I'm trying to get you to eat a burrito.
Why do you think he won't? Just like we're just moving and grooving. We want to eat. We want to. It's just every time we go by there, it's just there's so much happening. We're popping in and popping out. But explain to us the. I guess you have kind of a variety of burritos, like you have a variety of hot sauces on that wall of heat.
Yeah, we have breakfast burritos. We have lunch burritos like red chili beef or green chili chicken or whatever meat you want. You can build your own burrito, whatever you want to put on it. And we can also make a burrito with a tamale in it. Not very many people in Tucson do that. You probably know that, but you can pick your tamale and put it in a burrito with whatever other fixings you want.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now you've sparked my interest even more.
I'm trying to picture it in my brain even. A burrito with a tamale in it. What is that? Again, paint a picture for me again, Frank. What does this look like? My brain, I'm short-circuiting here.
Put it this way. You'll probably be able to eat it for lunch and dinner. It's a big fat burrito.
Okay.
You could put beans, rice, eggs, potatoes, whatever you want to do in there. Cheese, extra cheese, whatever you want. It's part of our build your own burrito on the menu.
Wow. Okay. Well, next time I'm in there, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. The burrito's up to you. Whatever your imagination is that we have in the store, you can put it in there.
I like that.
Yeah, you do. I know.
I'm ready for that right now.
Yeah, you're making us hungry, and we're going to have a hard time finishing this show, Frank. Thanks for that, bud.
All right, all right.
So, Frank, you were talking a little bit earlier about the wall of hot sauce. How did that start? I mean, you have that amazing whole wall of hot sauce. How did that whole thing start?
Well, it all started in when COVID. We had like 3 or 4 hot sauces we were selling. We decided to make a little market for people that couldn't things you couldn't find in the store, whether it was beans, rice, toilet paper, flour, all the commodity stuff that nobody could get in the stores because it was all out because of supply chain. So we started making a little market, and it started with 3 bottles of hot sauce, and right now we're at about 350 of them.
Wow. Okay. So almost out of necessity from the COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have a little market in there. We carry Tano's Botanas. We carry different Dick's Mix. It's a margarita mix from Tucson. We carry lots of different businesses, in there that we sell their stuff for them. And we support local businesses as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, and you're part of First Local, which is a networking group that helps. And they're not only a networking group, but they are advocate for local small business.
Absolutely. We've had, when we first joined First Local, we had a little meet and greet or a dinner in the restaurant that turned out really, really well.
Yeah.
About, a year ago, Ron?
Yeah, it was probably about a year ago. I think it was last summer. Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun night. That was a scary night.
So when people come into Tucson Tamale and they're looking at that hot sauce wall, can they try some of the hot sauces before they purchase them so that they can, see which flavors they like?
Oh, absolutely. We have a refrigerator that's got almost every bottle out there as a sampler. We give you some free warm corn chips and a cup of water and sample whatever you want. We have them separated by heat levels. We have a mild, a medium, a hot, and a really, really spicy level.
Something I don't think we talk about enough when we talk to you, just because I think realistically it's an unutilized service by this community, is your catering services. Like, I know you going in the Tucson Tamale Company building, it is its own experience. And I want to suspect you bring that experience to the field for a birthday party or for a quinceañera or whatever the case may be. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we try to bring whatever we offer in the store to you, whether it be a street taco box, which we do burrito boxes. Of course, we do the tamale box. We also have a build-your-own nacho box that we do, a guacamole and salsa chips box. We do a few different things. We can tailor anywhere from 10 people, 100 people, 150. It's all up to what you want to do. And just because it says Tucson Tamale doesn't mean we can't tailor a catering for other things. We can do whatever we want. There's nothing to stop us. There's no rules. Whatever you want to do, if we can cook it in our kitchen, we'll do it for you.
Fantastic. And that's good to know with the holidays coming up. I mean, it is still during the summer, but the holidays will be here before we know it. And a lot of us have office parties or, holiday parties, and that's who we should be calling for catering.
Yeah.
We get those all the time. We also do Diamond's Children's, all the nurses at Diamond's Children. We do a special catering for them. We feed them every year for Christmas. Probably about 300 nurses, whatever's in there, I don't remember. 150 to 200 nurses. We feed them tamales and rice and chips every year.
Fantastic. So where are you located and what are your hours?
We are located up on Oracle and Ina at 7286 North Oracle. Our hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 to 8, and then Sunday, 11 to 5.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for coming on with us, Frank.
Absolutely. I love coming on with you guys. Thank you very much for having me again.
That's Frank with Tucson Tamale. We want to thank our sponsors as always. Obviously, Tucson Tamale Company, they are the best. Crest Insurance, Tucson Pack and Ship, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, and also our newest edition, Piper Family Painting. Thank you for coming aboard, Piper Family Painting. Go to piperfamilypainting.com for more information. And also, we always invite you, go to our YouTube page, The Guys Next Door, as well as our Facebook page, Instagram page, TikTok page. We have so many pages.
We have a lot of
It's
pages
really great.
now.
And
Yeah.
go to veteranrescuemission.org, picturerockscooling.com as
Mhm.
well, and you'll get more information about the pages, as well as ways that you can plug in with the work that we do, particularly at veteranrescuemission.org, the work we do to locate and connect homeless veterans with housing. We can use any help we can get. We will catch you after the break. Stay beautiful, and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Guys Next Door radio show, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. They're keeping you cool all summer long. If you
That's
have
right.
not been to picturerockscooling.com, I highly suggest it. But I feel sorry for you, and lucky for me, I get to hang out with the coolest guy in Tucson all Wednesday long. And don't make the joke again, Ron. We already heard it the first time. It is you, Mr. Ron Arenas, the founder of Picture Rocks Cooling,
Well,
Heating, and
thank you.
Plumbing, serving Tucson for over 20 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So awesome stuff happening out of there. And the foundation of this idea of the idea of the Guys Next Door radio show, where we're trying to feature some of the prominent men in our community and
That's right.
hopefully pass along some words of wisdom to continue to fortify this community with strong, positive men that are doing great things in the community.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what our vision is and was. So today we have James Piper of Piper Family Painting with us. Hey, James, how you doing?
Hey, Ron. Thank you guys for having me back.
Yeah, we love having you here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about Piper Family Painting.
All right. Piper Family Painting is local here in Tucson. We just recently, even though we serve all of the Tucson area, we just recently relocated our operations to Marana,
Yeah.
almost all the way out to Avra Valley. Our office and our shop, all of our supplies are all going to be run out of Marana now. So we're
Okay.
excited about that. But we are a full-service interior, exterior, commercial, residential painting company. We cover every facet of everything of that statement.
Okay.
I'm a 35-year veteran, and there's not a whole bunch that I haven't painted or I can't put together a process for. We really specialize in painting occupied homes.
Right.
We're really good quality interior painters, and we communicate exceptionally well. And we know how to navigate a home that a client has been in for 30 years. And you guys know how quickly you could load up with stuff in your
Yeah.
home after 30 years.
You definitely accumulate a lot of things.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to work around. You haven't touched it or moved it in 15 years, and the painters want to come through there now and they want to empty your room. And we specialize in those type of things, and we specialize in cabinet refinishing.
Okay.
That's something that's fairly new with us here recently over the last 6 months, but we have an awesome process that we can, that cuts our time in half to be able to turn your kitchen back over to you.
Okay. Fantastic. And you also have a program called Painter for the Day. What should a customer expect from that program?
So our Painter for a Day is something I'm really excited about. We've been doing it for quite a few years now. It's made specifically for small projects for clients that don't want me to come in and give them an estimate to paint their 3,000 square foot home. Maybe they just have some baseboards in their kitchen or eating area that the dog chewed up that they are driving them crazy. And this program offers an opportunity to bring in a qualified painter, licensed, bonded, and insured, get the conversation and get the supplies and the materials and get a qualified painter for 8 hours of service. We can get a lot done in 8 hours. We can paint bedrooms, we could paint ceilings, we could paint baseballs, we could restore cabinetry, we could fix stucco repair. There's a lot that a qualified professional can do in 8 hours.
It's a brilliant idea. What inspired the idea of Painter for the Idea? I mean, it's almost. I mean, hopefully you don't have all the other paint organizations stealing the idea, because it should be a service that, or kind of a program, something that every paint organization should have.
I'm always looking for a way to connect with the clients. It's, I'll come in and give you a full estimate on the interior of your home, but not, like I said, not every client wants that. They just want something small done. And I want to make sure that because I have 35 years experience and I have an opportunity to put together a process, clients that have small jobs, I don't want to kick down the road. I don't want to kick the can on and say, we can't help you out. and maybe the next guy comes in and tries to do the same thing that they don't want. So I was inspired by my further connection with the people that I work with clients and returning clients, and that was basically the inspiration for it.
Nice.
Cool. So you're treating everyone the same, whether they have a huge job or a very small job.
That's right.
They're all getting your excellent customer service.
That's absolutely right. That's what we hang our hat on. There's a lot of painters in Tucson. There's a lot of painting companies, qualified painting companies that can give you great service and great work. We offer all that plus the customer service and the expertise and the communication. I had a client tell me this morning, he goes, "James, you over communicate," and I love it. And I said, "Thank you for telling me that." Because I do. He's on my checklist. I call him every night at the end of the night when the crew's done, and I call him in the morning and tell him what my plan is. Some clients don't want that, but I do that as a default. And let people know what we're doing. It's a big project. We're going to be there 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't want to get lost in the shuffle and the client wonder what next is for us. He'll know because I'll call him and tell him.
Okay. All right. So tell us, being a professional painter, why is properly prepping so important?
Gosh, it's the most important thing you can do. I'll use stucco for instance. A lot of people will choose to skip the step of waiting for the stucco to dry, waiting for the water to get out of it, and then sealing it off with a correct concrete sealer. It's a big step, and I know that sometimes you're in a hurry, and it's easy to pass up on it. But in this case, if you don't do that, and then you just go ahead and paint the house, the house can look great for 10 years, and then I can come along and pressure wash it with 3,200 pounds of PSI of pressure and completely knock all of the stucco off of the home.
It just starts crumbling, doesn't it?
It will just literally crumble off because it's just concrete. Yeah. So in that case, it's brutally important. Fascias, I notice we do this a lot here in Tucson. We replace a lot of wooden fascia because people skip the step of putting on primer. Putting on a wood primer.
Okay.
Yes, the Tucson sun is hostile, and yes, it's going to do what it does. And nobody's saying that what I'm saying can absolutely eliminate these problems.
Right.
But you got to give your top coat a chance at survival, and you do that by prepping the base coat. With, in this case, a wood primer. And these are just horribly important. And if you don't do that, 10 or 15 years goes by, and then here comes James, to do an estimate. And I'm like, hey. Yeah. You see what's going on here, and a lot of times, customers don't notice that. People are busy. They're going through life. They're trying to get stuff done. They don't really notice those type of things, but we do, and we notice all those things during our initial consultation and our initial walkthrough. Those are the things that we're looking for.
Right.
That type of failure.
Yeah. James G. Painter's like an encyclopedia of information, and it's like, as you're saying this, it makes me want to, think of, Ron in Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing has been over to my house a couple times, the KB Home neighborhood. So we got something I told my wife I would never have. We got an HOA. And I've heard, I haven't actually looked at the 1,822 page rule book that my HOA has, some type of color list, pre-approved color list for what you can paint the house. Like, one, is that true? Please tell me it's not. And two, how do you find that, and how do you know what's right, and how do you go from farm to table with that process?
Well, that's not an easy answer. There's a lot of things going on there, and let me just take it really back to the HOA. All of the HOAs are diverse, and they're going to be unique for the needs of their community members. So that is the first thing we'll have to know. What your HOA, your HOA may allow you to have a chicken coop in the backyard, and then one right around the corner may not allow you to have that. So for us, that's one of the first things I want to know. What's going on with your HOA, and lucky for us, a lot of that stuff is a matter of public information. You can go right to the HOA website and find that information.
Okay.
9 out of 10 times you can find your color schemes for your house directly at that same website, which is usually the one for your HOA.
See, you're already teaching me stuff.
They're not always right.
That's actually the only reason I wanted to have you here, to pick that encyclopedia brain. So
I love it.
If the listeners get something from it, lucky you.
Well, we navigate that, and we can navigate that for you. And, we had a problem in Marana in Gladden Farms. The first wave of subdivisions that came through, they were all done with Sherwin-Williams paint. Halfway through that, the builders decided to switch and go to Dunn Edwards. So you have clients that have been there for quite some time that are looking up their list that does not match what it presently shows right now. You know, so there's a process involved in it. Finding out what are available to you through your HOA, what it says that you can do. I try to, I have a really fancy color match device that I bought through Sherwin-Williams that allows me to match colors in the field with a little calibrated device. It's really neat. If your home hasn't been painted for 20 years, it's harder because
It's going to be oxidized.
it's going to be oxidized so bad and different colors. But I can, you know, so it's usually that process. What do you got? Do you even want to change colors? Do you want to go with the same colors? A lot of times an HOA won't even think twice if you just repaint the home the same color and there's no change, noticeable change in it. I always recommend, as a matter of good faith with your HOA, reach out to them and let them know what you want to do. Tell them, hey, I did my own research, or James at Piper Family Painting did the research for us. We know what our color scheme is. We're going to not do a change from it and just go. And a lot of times they won't even ask you to present what those colors are. You know, they'll just approve it and make sure that they're correct.
Yeah. I've had friends in different neighborhoods that have painted their house without talking to the HOA, and then they get those letters.
Nasty.
Yeah,
letters.
they get the nasty letters.
Yeah.
And they just have to
so
repaint their
bad.
house.
Yeah. I haven't got the paint letters, but just the letters in general. Like every single time I want to say something snippy back, but I don't. Homeowners Association president.
And that's why we work with them. So if anybody out there has any more questions or they're looking to help navigate that, reach out and give me a call. We can absolutely get in there and figure out what that is for you and even communicate with the HOA on your behalf.
So how do people get a hold of you?
So a couple different ways. Our website, you can go there, www.piperfamilypainting.com. We are also on Facebook and on Instagram at piperfamilypainting.com.
Fantastic. And can you give us your phone number again?
Sure. 520-343-6156.
All right.
That's my direct cell number.
That's your direct number.
That's
Okay.
right. So, and that's my work number. I do almost all of my operations through that number.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you for being here today with us.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, and we got about 15 seconds. What's one thing that you want the listeners to know about you guys that make you unique from other painting companies? Not to put them down, but to put yourself up.
We have a little boy, my wife and I, with special needs, and that's extremely important to us, and he is the dividing factor for that. So we are members of the Make-A-Wish Foundation as ambassadors,
Awesome.
and we love to be able to give back, and that, I think, separates us in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Our community involvement.
Very
Awesome.
good.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
And that was James Piper with Piper Family Painting. This is the Guys Next Door. We want to thank our sponsors, Tucson Tamale, Crest Insurance, Tucson Pack and Ship, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, and our brand new sponsor, Piper Family Painting.
Thank you for being here. Go to veteranrescuemission.org. Also check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, made up social media pages that we made. And remember, if you're feeling down, just sit back for 24 hours. It'll really make your day.